Welcome, welcome, welcome. For fall semester 2025, the first Entrepreneurial Mindset podcast. And today, I have two amazing guests for you. We're going to start this fall semester with a bang. Caffeine-free bang. We have Tom and Amy Czyz, co-founders. Actually, if you write an email to them, it says Dr. Tom and Dr. Amy. So two doctors deciding to become entrepreneurs. Why they are on the podcast today? One, because they are amazing entrepreneurs. And we would love to share the story with you. Second is because they went through the SMB lab. They were the candidates we have, and they have done amazing after the lab. So two reasons why, and they're just great people. So you should know people who are scared of being entrepreneurs. You should hear the story today. So without further ado, starting with you, Amy, and then you, Tom, tell a bit about yourself.
Thank you. So I don't know how I caught the entrepreneurial bug. I think it was ingrained. I'll be quite honest about that. I've been an eye doctor for 25 years here in the Valley. And I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where I'm from.
Wow.
And my father, came from a very poor mining town in Ohio. I still remember the outhouse, if you can believe that. So no plumbing, no nothing. And my father worked his way scooping ice cream at Isley's. That's how he put himself through college, because back then you could do that. So he put himself through college by scooping ice cream at Isley's and went to engineering school in Cincinnati. And then in working through the steel mills in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh, he developed a technology where you could stretch steel. And you could restore the steel that was wasted during production on the coils. And he figured out that if you increase it and stretch it, then you can restore it back to its perfect state, and developed the equipment, the machinery to do that, and designed the equipment to do that as a mechanical engineer. And then started doing manufacturing plants and became an international company. He's an entrepreneur. So I watched him take a concept and create something, create the equipment and the machines, build his first plant in Triadelphia, West Virginia, and now he's an international company. And when I got to Villanova, which is where I started, I hated optics, could not stand optics. That was the class that I detested the most. And I ended up an optometrist where I used optics every day. So I guess the take home from that is you just never know, where life leads you, and not to be closed-minded to things in that respect. So I ended up applying optics to working with patients every day, and found that I had a joy for optics when I applied it to people. I just didn't like it on paper. And so that kind of through line probably tells a story of how I ended up as an entrepreneur in beverage, very similarly, creating something out of a need.
You just hated everything that was out there, right?
Yes, I did. I hated water, and I couldn't find anything that I liked as far as functional beverage. Couldn't find the ingredients in beverages, and decided if I can't find it, why don't I make it? And I probably got that a little bit from my dad, and saying, okay, well, if you can't find what you want, why not make what you want and figure out how to do it? It's no quick, easy way, but
you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, got to do it yourself.
Well, Tom, what about you?
Well, let's see.
Not from Pennsylvania, right?
I'm from next door.
Next door.
I'm from the country called New Jersey.
God help him.
That's how you met him?
Oh, no.
We met at a optometry conference. She was graduating in San Antonio, Texas. That was 1999. And I was a part of the broader association of optometrists across the country as like a vice president. And we met at a conference. And 3 days later, that was it.
You proposed to her there?
Almost.
Almost. After about 3 days, I was getting her into the van as she was headed off to the airport back to
So you don't have
Ohio.
patience. You don't have much patience then, huh?
And I said, do you understand what just happened? She's like, yep. I said, are you scared? She's like, nope. Boom. I went back to California. She went back to the Ohio State, and which, again, that's a whole nother story, how someone who graduated from Arizona State could actually meet up with someone from Ohio State after the 1997 Rose Bowl is a whole nother story.
And he brought that up the night that we met. He actually said, "Oh, you're not from Ohio State because of the Rose Bowl." So,
And by the way,
true
Tom
story.
is a ASU alum, so that's why another reason why it's so great to see entrepreneurs coming out of ASU. So it's a testament to the work that we are doing here. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm optometrist. 25 years. I had really bad eyes when I was a kid, so I've been wearing glasses since I was 4 years old. So it was really, I was kind of a train wreck when I was a kid. Glasses, patch on my eye. I actually wore Forrest Gump braces.
Ooh.
So I would walk to school in braces, glasses, patch. I was kind of a little bit of a husky kid. And that led me to optometry because it was my optometrist that asked me, how you doing, kid? You doing okay? They knew, the bullying that would go on, and they looked after me. And I said to myself as a young kid, I said, wow, if I can do that for others, that's what I want to do with my life.
Wow.
So that's really why I'm an optometrist. And roundabout way, I went from New Jersey to Arizona when I was 9 years old, and that's where the entrepreneurial starts. My parents opened up a franchise restaurant in Paradise Valley Mall when it first opened, 1980. It was a Philadelphia cheesesteak franchise that had opened on the East Coast, and there was one in Las Vegas that we visited, and nobody knew what the heck a cheesesteak was in Arizona in 1980.
So the idea for Sly, was it your idea? Was it your idea?
She's the instigator.
You're the instigator. But then how come she hated water? She hated everything else in the market. What brought you into that?
Well, for me,
How tell me about the day when she said, let's start a company.
I said, you're crazy. I said,
Let's have a beverage
absolutely
company.
nuts.
Yeah.
Because I'll call myself more of the type A researcher, not that she's not, but looking up the stats on a beverage industry,
It's hard.
you're looking at like 10% that maybe make it to X point and then 3% that make it to that.
You burned the bridge to ever tell her, I told you so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he did.
And now it's full, it's total
That's like
full
fully
throttle.
committed, yeah.
But but it was, it was her idea, and because of me being sort of an overweight husky kid, I lost a lot of weight in high school, and played sports and stuff. And I don't take any medications, nothing like that. We exercise a lot, and I don't like taking pills and supplements. So when she came up with the idea and we brought it together, I said, well, let's try and use ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
We came up with the idea, let's use ingredients that have a particular function for your day, your circadian rhythm. So let's just say for the morning, for the afternoon, and for the evening to help you sleep. And then she just broadened that idea, and we put some ingredients together, and then we contacted some formulators. Dennis, you could probably talk about Dennis.
So that was what was really important to me and to Tom, knowing that, we've worked really hard for our careers and our name and our reputation. We didn't want to do something that was kind of the typical, I'm going to drip something in and make it like a fraud, to consumers and like, oh, it contains this. Like we actually cared about making something efficacious, meaningful, healthy, and based in Ayurvedic medicine, which we have always loved, being open-minded to natural ways to heal and using powerful ingredients to do that. So we found a formulator, his name's Dennis Morales, out of LA and here at the time. And he came from the pharmaceutical industry. He's a chemist. And so we really clicked because he knew how to get ingredients into the cells. And we spoke the same language coming from our clinical perspective on making meaningful formulations that have purpose. And we developed prototypes, and those prototypes ended up in AJ's and in stores in Arizona.
What was the
California.
first taste? How was the first taste? Did you say yuck? Oh, no, it goes good.
No, I mean, it took, oh gosh, when you're looking at,
Oh,
he would be sending us samples.
we go into the lab.
Go in the
we're
lab,
sending
come back.
iteration.
He was in LA, in Simi Valley, California. But the first drink was called Intent. And it was a functional water that was all USDA or organic certified. We got it all certified. And it was a lighter product. There was 3 products. There was a morning product, an afternoon product, and then a sleep product. And that was more in plastic. At the time, we couldn't get into cans because of just the backlog, all the stuff going on in the economy and other things. And then we got it into all of the AJs in Arizona.
Retailers.
So how many iterations till you got to this latest version?
Oh, wow. Well, we had the feedback from our prototype product.
Okay.
And what we found was I had wanted to create something that was
What was the feedback coming from the customers?
Yes. So I created a spa in a bottle product. So when you opened it, it smelled amazing. It tasted really good. It was light. I mean, when we were creating it in the actual manufacturing facility, the aroma was so intense that people were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Because we use honey. We sweeten with organic honey. And that product was only organic honey. And
so good.
the honey just makes it very, very smooth as far as it tastes.
And so I had created packaging around spa in a bottle. And strangely enough, we were getting contacted by pro athletes and their agents. And we were like, okay, this is cool, to get those phone calls, which at first we thought were a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget that. So she gets a phone call. We like to do some philanthropy work wherever we can help out with kids and stuff. So we got a phone call from one of her friends and said, hey, Devin Kennard, who played for the Giants and the Cardinals, linebacker, he's having a camp at his old high school with kids.
Camp? Yep.
Can you go down there and bring some water? So I took my daughter, Carly, who's a sophomore here at the business school in finance. And so we went down there with some water and I said, well, I might as well bring my drinks. So I'm sitting there and we're, it's hot in the middle of the July, and this was literally 4 years ago. And Derek Kennard, his brother, who played for the Cowboys, he's showing me his 2 Super Bowl rings. I'm like, wow, those things are huge. And he starts laughing at me. He's like, what are you doing, Tom? Like, don't hand your drinks to the kids. Give them to the players. Yep. So I literally went into the cooler and I started chucking the drinks at the players as they're there. And the first thing that they did, they grabbed it, turned it around, and looked at the ingredients before they drank it, because they knew they had training camp and they knew that urinalysis and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then we started mingling during that. And then a few days later, I got Instagram messages from 3 of the players and their linebackers coach. And the linebackers coach is now the linebackers coach of the New York Giants, where Scadaboo is, which is pretty cool. And Gardeck still plays for the Cardinals. And they're sending me Instagram messages. Hey, can you bring some out to training camp? We know we've got a contract with Gatorade.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So they're like, here,
Smuggle
you
it.
have the Bellman. You could smuggle them in here, put them in a box. So literally 45 minutes, boom, I flew out, there going, I got to take this opportunity. And then they were texting me pictures of it in the refrigerators and all that kind of stuff. And we're like, wow, this is great. This is fun. This is really fun.
It was so satisfying. But at the same time, it was also a huge light bulb aha moment that we had a total miss on our packaging.
So I don't know if you guys are noticing this. She's a self-proclaimed geek. And both of them are doctors. But when you hear them, when I hear both of you, you guys are amazing salespeople. Where does that come from? Just because you are, with your background, would you have thought when you were kids younger that you would be so amazing at being a salesperson? When I say sales, is it the passion? Yes. Is it that you believe in it that's causing it? Because many of the entrepreneurs out there, my students also who watch this, they say, I can't go talk to people. I can't do customer discovery. I'm afraid of sales. What would you tell them?
I don't look at it as sales. I mean, when we talk to people, we've done podcasts before, I'll talk to a lot of people, or I'll be sampling, like it was at Queen Creek the last couple of weekends. They're like, you're really passionate about this. That's right. I don't really realize that. It's just what we do. And I think it's, it's a point that you better be passionate if you're an entrepreneur about what you're doing, because if it's just for money or whatever else that it is, like that's not going to cut it.
So you're drinking your own drink, right?
Oh yeah, we're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're drinking the
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it just becomes if you're passionate about what you want to do, and for us, it's about getting better products into better people's hands, healthier products, things that you can actually read the label, and it's just a good time for that right now. I think our timing is really good, and going back to the sort of the football story, it was a few weeks later where we were laying in bed on a Saturday, never forget it, and her brother Nick, who was involved, is kind of a little prankster. And we had a phone call from this guy, Elijah Wolf. Hi, this is Elijah Wolf from XL Sports Management in New York. Mikal Bridges and I forget the other Phoenix Suns player really like your product, and can you personally deliver it to the residents? We're like,
I thought it was a joke.
yeah, whatever, click. We thought it was a prank phone call from our brother.
My brother.
We're like, oh yeah, Nick, so yeah, that's not really fun. That's not really nice. So he calls us back again. No, this is Elijah Wolf.
Look
I
me up.
represent, but we're like,
Oh.
okay.
Oh, it was bad.
I didn't wake up this early in the morning.
No, and then we had to, we were hand delivering product to Suns players. And that's kind of how we knew, like.
So how far have you come? When did you start? And how far have you come? And I'm also keen to understand in your journey, what were those moments where you thought, what the heck did we got ourselves?
Oh, that never
Is
stops.
that every day?
That never stops. That never stops. I think any entrepreneur, especially in CPG, will have every day there are things and obstacles that come up that you think, oh my gosh, what did we just do?
It was 2019 when you came up with the idea. So the company literally founded April of 2019 when I got the EIN number and all that kind of stuff. And then the Intent product that came out 2021 or so, it was 4 years ago with the Cardinals event and that stuff. Then we were voted one of the best new beverages in the country for Intent at BevNet. BevNet is a trade magazine and industry, and they have they have these things called the New Beverage Showdowns. So we were voted semifinalists for the New Beverage Showdown. Wow. And that was December of 2021.
And that was really interesting because we were already getting the feedback. So we're on stage as one of the best new beverages in the country, and at the same time we already know we have to overhaul it.
Change.
In terms of the roles in the company, both of you are co-founders.
Yeah.
But what is it that the role that you take on? Who's the chief technology officer? Who's the CEO? Who's the COO?
She's CEO.
You're the CEO.
She handles more of, let's just say that the behind the scenes, like operations now, production, things like that. We both been through that, but I'm more the front facing. I'm
relationships.
Chief Relationship Officer, CRO as we call it. So just the relationships.
But you're also the chief research officer, right?
And I mean, we both are.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're both in that. I mean, literally when we got done with Intent and knew that we had to change, and that was in December of 2021, we said to ourselves, and here's where the story picks up, like, what do we have to do to change this? Because we had that mismatch. We had professional athletes. We were the official drink of Team USA racquetball.
Wow.
Yeah. From our prototype.
And we said to ourselves, okay, we need to change packaging. And at the same time, my fraternity brother at ASU, Doug Kennedy, he and his wife were the creators of Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people, and I think even people at ASU do not understand that came from an ASU student.
Wow.
As like literally $1 billion brand. So Doug's a type 1 diabetic, and I can say that because says that as far as the HIPAA rules are concerned. And he saw me on Facebook and he said, what are you doing with this drink? I'm like, well, we're doing this, we're doing that. We're kind of changing things. He's like, well, let me help out with this. Like, I'm tired of drinking Gatorade Zero. I can't really drink much as a type 1 diabetic. So what we did was we got together with his wife, and his wife launches video games, and him being involved in the video game industry. Then with our athletic background, we surveyed people to find out what they wanted all across the country.
And even to the UK. and back because what we didn't know, I mean, coming from, we have our daughter, she was into gaming, and this was COVID, everybody was online. And between content creators, social media, that age group, what we didn't realize was that the gaming industry is about 50-50 male-female. 66% of U.S. households have a gamer. So it's actually a pretty good cross-section of our demographic without realizing that that was a good cross-section of our demographic, kind of on the down low. And by asking people, what benefits are you looking for and what can't you find? Those two key questions. We were getting back handwritten notes, pages and pages.
It was an organized
What was the biggest aha moment from the customer discovery?
It was what they told us is they wanted products to calm them down, relax them, and help them sleep. Because they were up playing video games.
That you were not thought about. You were not thinking when you started making the drink that would be one.
The interesting thing was that when we created Intent, it was sort of morning, noon, and night, as we called it.
Yeah.
It was based on circadian rhythm, but that's what we also found out what the people wanted that they weren't getting. So really, the original concept that Amy had was really there. It just wasn't brought to the forefront. That was in our mind. Now, through the surveys, it really brought to life that this is what people were missing. Like she said, what were people not finding, and what were they not getting, and what would they pay and buy for? So this was this was a research project with the survey that was all these different questions. We have the report that we could go back on. So they wanted something that was non-carbonated.
Yep.
52-48, that was the percentages. The top things that they wanted was
being calm and being able to sleep. And if we could do something to help focus without caffeine, because they're up.
And what was the last thing on the list on our bar chart?
Was a jolt of energy.
Yeah. The last thing that they wanted was a jolt of energy.
That was ranked last.
Wow.
When meanwhile, that's what the industry offers the most.
Yeah.
Everything's an energy drink. So for us, it was an insight into where the market was too flooded and where there was white space. And so we decided to then take that information that came from consumers by just asking questions and reiterate to be more effective, and really take the approach of not Tom and I creating things, but giving the platform for actual people, future consumers, to be the driver of the formulations, the functions,
we really wanted this to be a product of the people, and that's why it took 2.5 years.
So tell me, there are two things. One, it's called Sly. And how did you come up with the name Sly?
That's great.
Well, that's one. And second, I think you have, about 5 or 6 flavors?
6. Yeah.
So why those flavors? But first, tell me about Sly.
So I will still remember where we came up with the name Sly. We were on a phone call with Doug Kennedy, and we're talking about what should we name this thing? And we're walking around in our bathroom or whatever, and Doug said, why don't we call it Sly? And I'm like,
sneaky good.
Sneaky good.
Sneaky
well,
good.
Sly comes from ASU.
Huh.
Sly was sort of a pet name at our fraternity.
Okay.
And literally, it was 3 letters. It was easy. It could be internationally driven after we thought about it. And we said, let's go with it. Now, after the survey, what we did was we got back to our formulator. We rekindled the ingredients. Then I decided to hire a third-party food scientist, Danielle, that came from Scripps in San Diego. She worked for a company called Beachbody, which people know by P90X. Mm-hmm. She created some of their products. And I said, here, Danielle, here's 13 ingredients that we have in this thing. I had 4 kinds of mushrooms. I was so much. And I said, nail it down to what's actual good science.
It's going to be
and make it efficacious.
Yep.
So she nailed it down, gave us a report, and she said, here, put it in these modes with these milligram percentages, throw this out. Now you got to go make it taste good. Yeah. So then this was COVID time. So then we brought in 6 female, 6 men in Southern and Northern California into the flavor lab, and we had them make all the flavors. It was
the flavors.
It was 11 hours of fun. So we probably had 20 different flavors on the board. So we would put them up on the whiteboard. So we have, for Boost, we have tropical, which is kind of like a coconut pina colada. We have berry,
In Boost.
in Boost.
The one that I love the most is the mango.
Yeah, then for chill, which calms you down, we have mango and we have citrus. The citrus literally tastes like a mojito without alcohol.
Yep.
Huh?
And then for dream, we have vanilla, and then we have an orange cream, which kind of tastes like a popsicle, creamsicle.
Wow.
And that's what they came up with. We have other flavors behind the scenes that they helped us
Probably
create.
about 40 that are.
And
Mhm.
and you know the other thing that came out of the survey was, and like Amy mentioned, there was 4 to 5 pages of typed out handwritten notes
Yes.
from these survey people, and they said, listen, if you can give us a focus and clarity product without the caffeine and the sugar to make us jittery, that would be great. And then that's where I kind of came up with the idea. We had a little bit of caffeine in our original intent product, like 30 milligrams.
Green.
And I said, why? Let's just take it out. Let's be different. Let's be a non-caffeinated boost product.
And it was so key because there were some things that happened.
Mm.
One, gamers are just like college students who are up late, burning the midnight oil. And if you try to take an energy drink and have caffeine after 2 p.m., it disrupts your sleep cycle.
Mm.
So we needed to find something that anybody who wanted to go out or study or work or play could enjoy having that boost of energy, but not make it unable to sleep. And so that was our big challenge, was to find, a way to be disruptive
And
with
ingredients that could...
ingredients that actually do this. And so that was a huge part. And at the same time, I did a little bit of work out at Luke Air Force Base with the F-35 pilots. And because of that experience, which was amazing, being able to do that, I got to go to a base in San Antonio and watch drone operators.
Okay.
And when I was watching drone operators and we were connecting with other people in the military, one of the things that came up was that you can't have a crash. Like you can't have a sugar high or a caffeine high
Okay.
and then have the jitters and then the crash afterwards or lose focus.
Yeah.
So that experience of working with the military and of watching drone operators was kind of an inspiration of us to say, we need to find something that sustains focus, but doesn't have a drop off. So you can't have sugar, you can't have caffeine for people who really want to be in those situations, whether you're in a police officer or you're in the military. And that was a big driver.
Yeah, that's why we kind of knew that this could be a really good product for the military, which we're pursuing, right now.
So where is Sly now? Where are you now? What do you expect it to do over the next year, 2 years? What's your vision for it?
Well, we're a lot further than where we were in 2019, thank goodness.
Well, I mean,
biggest...
it goes back to, so we could say we literally launched, say, January of 2024.
So we just had our first meeting with Sprouts Corporate.
Wow.
And so they want to bring us on. They actually wanted to bring us on nationwide.
Yes,
and we've
Sprouts,
got to say,
Whole Foods.
yes, right.
Yeah.
What they want is the same thing that everybody wants when they want to give you large purchase orders. Do you have control over manufacturing?
Yes.
So our biggest barrier and obstacle into growing as a company was having control over manufacturing, your quantity, your shipments, your logistics, and being able to change things for each retailer. Some retailers want different ingredients than others. It's crazy. They're not all aligned. So coming out of SMB, that was posed to us in February. And we were in our roundtables and it came to us that aha moment was, sounds to us and the groups we were working with, that your biggest challenge is manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, yes, it actually is. And you have no control over that as a co-founder when you're working with co-manufacturers. You're kind of at their mercy and it's dangerous to be an entrepreneur.
Plan to create your own manufacturing?
Absolutely. All because of SMB, all because of supply chain.
We're in the airport because of SMB.
Yes.
Lovely.
And it was...
so, I mean, and we just got our 5th order in 5 weeks. So they've gone through about 170 cases just in 3 locations.
And
you're equally happy for you. Yeah, I get equally happy. I get equally
It's a win. And it was amazing. We were sitting there at SMB and it was Councilwoman Keisha Washington. District 8. She was talking to us. She said, I love your product. This is really cool. She said, are you going to the aviation summit? We said, what's that? We didn't know what that was. She said, registration closes in 10 minutes. Here's my cell phone. Do this now. She literally
Wow.
got us into the aviation summit and started that ball rolling because she's supportive of small business, especially being local,
Yeah.
being women-owned business.
Yeah.
She really wanted to see us have an opportunity to work with the vendors, and that is now executed all because of the opportunity that ASU created by bringing business leaders together. And it has now flourished into us. We're now waiting for our SBA loan to be processed so that we could build a manufacturing facility here and create a pipeline for jobs for ASU.
And then, sort of fast forward. So back to Sly, once we had the name, then we had the survey, then Danielle with the formulation. Then
Prototypes.
as we went through that process with the flavors at the time, there was a big controversy inside of the gaming industry with female executives and other bad things that were going on. And some of the people in the room were like, we don't like this name Sly at all. We did a whole presentation. So we're like, uh-oh. So our branding firm, Intent or Interact Brands, they do lots of Hot Pockets, Dogfish Head beer. Really, we were surprised that they took us on, and that was because of Ryan, our attorney, who introduced us to them. They put out 22 different names against Sly, and they were all voted on across the country.
And Sly
even
won.
the UK, and Sly won.
Sly won.
And then we decided, let's do the same thing.
With labels.
With
They came
cans.
up with like 4 or 5 different can designs, and we put it out to the people, and it was through
It
colleges.
was all voted, yeah.
It was all through colleges and professors, and they would take it out to their students and report
Discord.
back, the votes.
Votes.
And
Wow.
it was so cool because after we then produced the prototypes, Tom was at an event, kind of like a
that's
little
funny.
competition between colleges at this event, and one of the kids picked it up. And
Yeah, I'm there in Chandler. I'm at this sort of gaming facility, and U of A, ASU, NAU, they're all for this esports event. And I'm sitting there at a little table, whatever, threw the cans up, sampling. And this kid looks over and he goes, I voted for that. And he keeps pointing, I voted for that. And I'm like,
Very cool.
What are you talking about? He's like, I voted for that can. And he was from U of A. And I'm like, well, now you get a chance to drink it.
And
So
it
he had
became real.
actually voted
To
that, and that's the can he voted for. So it was really great for me because this is what we wanted. We wanted a product of the people, and for him to see like it was actually came to fruition. That's something that he voted on. He had input on it, and now it was on the table as a product,
That's so
and
cool.
he could actually try
That's so
it.
cool. That's so cool.
And it was really cool after
So-
that. And then that's where it just moved from there to production, to kind of, where we are. And
See, this is what I talk about. The life that they're living. There are ups and downs, but these stories, imagine kind of stories they would have to tell to come into classrooms or for their grandkids. Stories like we have cool grandparents. Let's hear their stories. Wouldn't that be? That's absolutely amazing.
our poor kids, 3 daughters.
But it's absolutely fantastic for you to come today. And one of my way how I wish them is I sincerely believe that we are going to have today. We are sitting here and recording them. We are going to have another unicorn coming out of ASU, coming out of these amazing 2 entrepreneurs, husband and wife, and that is my wish to you.
I will say one other thing that makes this very, very unique. As you know, I'm a diehard Sun Devil. There are 50 alumni and growing that are involved in this project, as I
Wow.
call it.
Yeah.
From friends and family, we raised money, we put our own money into this, but also friends and family. Fraternity brothers, a woman I've known in a sorority, people who've given their time to interview why we like Sly, Jeff Kolodny, who came from Vans, who helped build up the brand Vans and Adidas,
Another AFU
helped us
alum.
just graciously helping us along the way. So we have lots of different advisors behind the scenes, and And for me, being from ASU, I mean, this is where the give back comes in the future that I can't wait. This is where the production facility comes in, internships in all different varieties, ways for us to get jobs for students. Maybe that'll spawn some entrepreneurialism from there. And that's the thing that really excites me, working with the athletes at ASU. Just this whole ecosystem at ASU is just amazing. And I keep telling people that. I was with students this weekend for Dev Labs and their hackathon, asking me all kinds of questions. I'm like, you picked the right school.
Yes.
You picked the right school to come to, because there's so many resources here, whether you want to start a business or get engaged and take advantage of that in any way that we can help in that to be ambassadors of that. We're here to do.
You already are. You already are. And with that, if this doesn't excite you, then I think you need a shot of caffeine. But no, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear. I've known you guys for some time now, and I am so excited about. It's not the question of if; it's a question of when now.
Yes.
And so, all the best from us.
Thank you.
To you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming.
Thank
you.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us. Thank you.